It is indeed a great day to join you on this auspicious occasion of this very important validation exercise of the Council Strategic Plan. As you are aware, the National Heroes Council is established under the Kenya Heroes Act, and which has given it a broader mandate of ensuring that deserving Kenyans are identified and honored in a dignified manner and in accordance with criteria outlined under the Act. This mandate cannot be achieved without a clear roadmap on where the Council wants to go. I have been informed that you have conducted public participation exercises across all the regions in Kenya, and I am glad that Kenyans have given their views on how they want the heroes identified and honored. Further, I take note that the ministry, and in particular our State Department of Culture, the Arts and Heritage, has played a key role in this entire process. Our officers have been available, working together with the Council in ensuring that a Council strategic plan has been developed in accordance with the required standards. I therefore take this opportunity to congratulate the Council, which has worked tirelessly to come up with a document which will give clear directions to achieving the goals of the Council. Congratulations, Chair and the Council. I stand here today fully in support of this validation exercise, and we shall endeavor to give our full support where necessary to ensure that the broader objectives of our sagas are achieved in line with the agenda of this country. I wish to join the entire leadership of the Council in congratulating all of you stakeholders for their valuable input and support in ensuring that we attain the tremendous achievements. Congratulations all. I also wish to single out the county governments who are key players in identification, selection, and honoring national heroes across our country. Indeed, the Kenya Heroes Act has given counties express mandate to assist the Council in identifying deserving Kenyans to be recognized and honored in line with the criteria under this Act. As we continue to fully operationalize the Council, we are committed to ensure that we develop strategies that are going to propel the institution to attain its mandate as guided by the provisions under the Heroes Act 2014. However, we note that we have had challenges in implementing some of the mandates of the Council due to financial constraints and human resource. This includes the establishment of the Heroes Fund. We are working closely with the leadership of the Council with a view to ensure that the Council is supported with enough resources to achieve its mandate.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this stakeholders validation workshop for the first ever strategic plan for National Heroes Council that will cover a period of 2023 to 2027. The Council strategic plan will guide the implementation and the achievements of the mandate and assessment of performance in accordance with the Kenya Heroes Act number 5 of 2014, Sustainable Development Goals, Africa Agenda 2063, the Kenya Vision 2030, and the bottom-up economics of our nation. The key strategic issues covered in the plan address honors and awards for heroes, heroines, heroes welfare, merit-based honoring, and enabling policy and legal framework. Ladies and gentlemen, under my leadership, the Council members will oversee implementation of the strategic plan that we shall deliberate upon today, setting up the governance structures, approval of regulations, and the policies such as Heroes Act regulations, among others. The implementation of the strategic plan, partnerships, and the collaborations with the stakeholders will be crucial. The stakeholders include Parliament, National Treasury, county governments, ministries, departments, agencies, media, national heroes, non-governmental organizations, international partners, among others. The Council of Governors Secretariat and the National Heroes Council Secretariat have already commenced discussions on the recognition of honor and honoring of heroes, awareness, research, and legislative review. The next engagement will involve discussion with the leadership of both the Council with a view to ensuring that heroes are honored and that their legacy is preserved to inspire the acts of heroism in the country. I want to thank you all, and especially those who have come from counties and very, very far distances. And I would like to urge you that you cooperate with us as we do research to identify the heroes that they existed or are existing in various areas of this country. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this stakeholders validation workshop for the first ever strategic plan for National Heroes Council that will cover a period of 2023 to 2027. The Council strategic plan will guide the implementation and the achievements of the mandate and assessment of performance in accordance with the Kenya Heroes Act number 5 of 2014, Sustainable Development Goals, Africa Agenda 2063, the Kenya Vision 2030, and the bottom-up economics of our nation. The key strategic issues covered in the plan address honors and awards for heroes, heroines, heroes welfare, merit-based honoring, and enabling policy and legal framework. Ladies and gentlemen, under my leadership, the council members will oversee implementation of the strategic plan that we shall deliberate upon today, setting up the governance structures, approval of regulations, and the policies such as Heroes Act regulations, among others. The implementation of the strategic plan, partnerships, and the collaborations with the stakeholders will be crucial. The stakeholders include Parliament, National Treasury, county governments, ministries, departments, agencies, media, national heroes, non-governmental organizations, international partners, among others. The Council of Governors Secretariat and the National Heroes Council Secretariat have already commenced discussions on the recognition of honor and honoring of heroes, awareness, research, and legislative review. The next engagement will involve discussion with the leadership of both the Council with a view to ensuring that heroes are honored and that their legacy is preserved to inspire the acts of heroism in the country. I want to thank you all, and especially those who have come from counties and very, very far distances. And I would like to urge you that you cooperate with us as we do research to identify the heroes that they existed or are existing in various areas of this country.
Today marks a very key point as we invite our guests to look through a document which will spell the journey for our performance and also looking through our mandate to see how best the National Heroes Council is going to be committed to a situation of honoring heroes across this country. I'm sure it's not an easy journey. It's a long journey. It's not a light journey. We need a lot of hands to come in support to each and everything we do. So as you take time to be taken through the strategic plan and we finalize it, we are inviting your critiques at the highest level so that as you are criticizing our document or giving it value, look through our country's needs in terms of what this mandate is supposed to perform. It's a very deep mandate, and I know we are going to get the right critique. I call it critique because very soon we want time to invite you to launch this strategic plan.
Simama, Wakenya wote simama. Simama, wewe shujaa simama. Nchi yangu, jukumu langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Najivunia taifa langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Simama, Wakenya wote simama. Simama, wewe shujaa simama.
Kenya gained independence in 1963 after liberation from the British rule. Key players in the liberation struggle include Acheng Oneko, Bildad Kagia, Fred Kubai, Kungu Karumba, Paul Ngei, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Koitalel Arap Samoei, and Elijah Masinde. Other notable freedom fighters include Muthoni Kirima, Mekatilili Wamenza, Mora Ngiti, among others. The significance of these heroes and heroines fighting for our liberation is that independence has allowed us to enjoy sovereignty in making decisions for the benefit of the people, preservation of our traditional values, indigenous languages and cultures. Moreover, we're able to celebrate national pride and enjoy political autonomy and our own economic control.
Ilikuwa safari ndefu na safari mzito kwa sababu ilikuwa imeanziwa na wengine kutoka 1920 kurudi nyuma. Baba zetu walikuja kuchukulia mahali uchungu iliingia sana na wakaamua wapiganie nchi yao. Wakaingia kwa kichaka wakiwa na mzazi na brother zake 7. Wote wakaingia kwa kichaka na hakuna hata mmoja alirudi. Wakaingia na watu wao ndio kukomboa nchi. Walikuwa nasema ni mashamba na freedom. Watu wa Kenya wasivae vinyasa. Watu wa Kenya wasiende na ID. Watu wa Kenya wawe na freedom ya kuenda mahali popote wanataka kuenda na kuajiriwa mahali popote mtu anataka kuajiriwa na kutumia resources zake vile alikuwa anataka. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa mapenzi sana yao wazazi wetu. Na wale watu wote walipigania uhuru, walijitoa, wakapoteza mali zao. Kama sisi, familia Dedan Kimathi, na familia zote zile waliingia kwa kichaka, waliishi maisha sio yao. Kwa sababu wakiingia kichaka walikuwa watu wako na pesa, watu wako na mashamba, watu wako na resources. Lakini kutoka pale kuna watu hawakurudi, wa baba wa mama kuna watu hawakurudi. So watoto wakawachwa wakiwa hatima. Na tena wale wa mama walitokea sasa kama mzazi wetu alitokea lakini hakupata kitu. Na sasa ni kuanza zero ndio aanze kuendelea. Na hawakukufa moyo. Wameendelea juu ya nchi na wameng'ang'ania nchi ndio sasa wewe na mimi leo tunaongea na tuko na masomo. Hatugeipata.
An African was not classified as anybody. We used to have schools for only whites. Those who live in Nairobi, we used to have Prince of Wales, today is Nairobi School. We used to have Duke of York, today is Lenana, and many more. We used to have hospitals. Today people go to Nairobi, to Nairobi Hospital. It was European hospital. So many things were essentially classified because Muzungu has made a decision that this country was to be his forever and for keeps. So when that was fought, and they fought the war, they decided to fight the war, Mashujaa Day was planned so that we should be remembering them because gallantly they did it, without pay they did it.
Each year since the attainment of independence, Kenya observed Kenyatta Day on 20th October as a holiday to commemorate the country gaining independence in 1963.
That I will be true and faithful to Kenya.
Traditionally, these celebrations were held at the Nyayo National Stadium and Moi Kasarani International Stadium, both in Nairobi. On this occasion, the military in their full regalia organized parades to showcase their prowess. Singers and traditional dancing troupes entertained the crowd. When Kenya adopted a new constitution in August 2010, several changes were made to the public holidays observed in the country. Kenyatta Day was renamed Mashujaa Day, a Swahili word that means Heroes Day. Who are heroes?
When you talk about a hero, it's somebody who has done something in an exemplary way. Somebody who has done something which is beyond a limit of other people, and it is something which can be noted by many people. I look at a very key example of at our athletes, like Eliud has been one of our key heroes, and now we are looking at somebody like Kipyegon, who has just been breaking records all over. If you look at such kind of a person, which falls under one of the categories, it explains to you who a hero is. And we have even heroes in communities, and individuals themselves do many things which can make them to be a hero. The council recognized even a person like the incident we had at the Wilson Airport. There was a security person there who actually collected funds, $19,000, and returned back. That kind of a person of exemplary performance can be taken in to be a hero.
Further, heroes are those who have sacrificed selflessly, sometimes risk their lives for the benefit of the communities that they live in, and their actions may have been recognized globally. The day is now commemorated in different counties, and some of the counties that have hosted the event include Kisii, Mombasa, Kirinyaga, Nairobi, among others. Last year, event was held in Nairobi County at the Uhuru Gardens under the theme Nchi yangu, jukumu langu, mimi ni shujaa.
Nchi yangu, jukumu langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Najivunia taifa langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa.
This theme aimed at encouraging every Kenyan to evaluate his or her commitment and contribution towards making Kenya a peaceful, harmonious, and prosperous nation that we can all be proud of.
Simama, wewe shujaa, simama.
Let us not just give lip service to the country that we are patriots, but take a step, put it in action, try and do something, touch our life somewhere. Even if it is on a very small scale, don't worry. That small scale that you are changing someone's life or you are touching someone's life will go a long way into making someone better. And remember, iron sharpens iron. It begins with one person, then the good philosophy that you have and you have impacted on one person, you will share with another person and it will spread. That peace will spread, love will spread, unity will spread, and finally, we'll find that in the whole country, we are living in harmony, and that's something very good.
Tusonge
Celebrating heroes at county level enables counties to showcase their distinctive culture and rich diversity. It also provides a great economic boost for the counties as this brings both local and international guests requiring various services from the county.
Tumefurahia kwa hii mashujaa yenye imekuja Kakamega. Umetuletea maendeleo, at least kazi imepanuka kiasi. Naweza eleza wana youth wa Kakamega wautie bidii. Hakuna kitu kinakuja rahisi.
Hati kufanya biashara, wakati nimetembea hapa kutoka Chana, nimeona nimeusako angarau nilipatako chai ya siku nikaingilia kwa nyumba. Hati leo tena sijatembea mbaya na naona business iko poa.
The focus of Mashujaa Day has widened from only celebrating freedom fighters to include heroes celebrated from different categories.
We have 14 categories. We have the Liberation Freedom Fighters line, first category. We have sports, we have arts, we have philanthropies, we have peacekeeping, we have environmental aspects as also one of the areas. Even spiritual leaders and professionals are in the research areas also are within different categories of the Heroes Act.
Wakina mama wakisikia tu kitu kidogo imetokea mahali, huwa tunakuja, tuko na wakina mama ya peace, tunakuja, tuko na ofisi yetu, tuko na hall ya kukaa, tuko na pesa pia tumechanga, tunasaidiana wakina mama. Ile shida kidogo ikitokezea tunaenda hiyo mahali, tulitatua, tuliongea na wakina mama, tuliongea na vijana, tuliongea na wazee, kasema amani ni mzuri. Amani ni kitu muhimu sana.
The idea of coming up to include not just historical Mashujaa, but a current Mashujaa is very, very far-sighted indeed. Because there are a lot of Mashujaas who are unspoken of. And those Mashujaas are sitting there with something to contribute and to give to the country. And nobody recognizes them. So this recognition of not just historical Mashujaas, but also the current social, tangible Mashujaa. They can say, I know so-and-so, not I hear of so-and-so, and he has done so-and-so. Maybe I too can try to do it. I think it should be continued. It's a wonderful development indeed for the country. It's just teaching by example. Here are the current Mashujaas. Can you match them? Can you try to be what they are? And in that case, can you contribute to the welfare and the well-being and the prosperity of our nation?
Yote ni ishara ya maisha mema. Basi sote tufurahike, tujivunie.
A legal, transparent and public process for the identification, recognition and honoring of national heroes is now provided for in the Kenya Heroes Act No. 5 of 2014. The Act also establishes the National Heroes Council, which was operationalized through Gazette Notice No. 173 dated 4th September 2020.
The National Heroes Council is an institution under the State Department of Culture, the Arts and Heritage. It's a recently instituted institution under the council to look upon people who have performed very well and exemplify their performance. The Act came in place in 2014, it's number 5 of 2014, but the operationalization started around 2020 when the first council members were appointed under the leadership of the chairman, Adan Wachu, and other members which included Eliud Kipchoge, Teacher Tabichi, Banis Kachegu, and many others representative from the key ministries like Treasury and AG's office and also the ministry itself.
To ensure fairness in the identification and honoring of heroes, the Act establishes a criterion through which national heroes are selected. The criterion takes into consideration public participation, whereby people or organization can identify and nominate a person that they want to be declared a hero. The nominee then undergoes an evaluation process.
We are trying to work out a process through which we can make sure that the public are involved. If you realize that in the current time when we are preparing for the Mashujaa Day, we made a call that the public should give us, nominate persons they feel are fit to be named as heroes. And we received quite a big number from different areas. So that's one first start of identification, which the public also get involved and send us names of people they believe are people to be considered as heroes. And actually we have received quite a good sum of the numbers. And also we make sure that we put up those information to the public to know the personalities who have been identified. We look at regional balance. From which regions are we looking at? We are not going to concentrate all these people in Nairobi. It will not be good. Because being a national aspect, we must also look at regional balance. We must also look at people with disability and ensure that we capture a wide scope into people we are identifying as heroes.
Other stakeholders involved in the identification of heroes include county governments, the Ministry of Sports, Ministry of Gender, Culture, Arts and Heritage, among others. In evaluating the submissions, the Council takes into consideration the contribution of the nominee to the county, the impact of the actions at county, inter-county, national, regional, and internationally. Consistency in how long the person has been undertaking the activity is also evaluated, as well as their adherence to the national values as highlighted in the Kenya Constitution. Other considerations include gender and regional balance, and persons living with disability are considered.
So the mandate for the council is very key, that we look at coming up with criteria to identify heroes, and also at the end of the day we honor them. And honoring them means that they have been properly identified through a performance within the areas of their specification. It's very, very important to appreciate people who go beyond their limits to do things which are worthy in society. And that becomes very important to mark a day. And that's why in our act, we take it that Mashujaa Day is given purposely to celebrate heroes. So the government has found it very, very fit to see that we celebrate such kind of people, because it gives them their motivation. It even gives as an example which can be copied with other generation, the youth who are growing up, the generation which is coming up, because they are creating an identity to society. So it's very, very important to celebrate them and appreciate them and make them feel honored that they have done something beyond which the government is also recognizing. And it can give an image to the youth also to improve on the side.
For inclusiveness, the Act established 14 categories in which national heroes are selected. The categories include liberation struggle, spiritual leadership, indigenous knowledge, cultural values and practices, arts, sports, scholarship professionalism, research, peacemaking, statesmanship, entrepreneurship and industry, philanthropy, human rights, national cohesion and integration, and environmental conservation. At any one moment, there are many Kenyans in different parts of our nation selflessly offering their services to better the lives of fellow Kenyans in different ways.
Nimepata taji hili kwa sababu ya kujihusisha na masuala ya kijamii takriban miaka 20. Nimekuwa na mashirika ya kina mama, mashirika ya walemavu, vijana, tukihamasisha wenzetu masuala ya elimu, afya na mazingira kwa ujumla.
Acts of heroism can therefore be demonstrated as follows. People providing assistance to the vulnerable members of the society through provision of relief food and medication. Use of cultural knowledge to prepare natural medication that reaches communities. Using technology to aid in detection of diseases at early stages, therefore ensuring that diseases can be treated at an early stage. Other acts of heroism are demonstrated when people have risked their lives to be involved in community policing and peacekeeping.
Kwa sababu mimi ni mmoja wao wale wazee wanasimamia mambo ya usalama katika kaunti ya Wajir. Kwa sababu tangu uhuru hiyo area yetu inakuwa na matatizo ya mara banditry, mara mashida ya ukabila. So serikali naona ni mzuri kuweka wazee ambao wanaitwa Peace Committee. So mimi ni mmoja wao wa Peace Committee katika hiyo county. So kugangana na mambo ya shida ya usalama, kusaidia wale security committee ya county.
Heroes are therefore those people who have demonstrated ethical leadership and demonstrated commitment to serving the public.
Mimi kwangu binafsi ile imenisaidia kuwa mtu anajisimamia na mtu asiangalia ile kazi ulifanya kama umelipwa. Ni kwa sababu wazazi wetu kama wangeangalia ile kazi walifanya na hawakulipwa wangekufa moyo na hawangetulea. So hiyo ni somo moja mimi nimesoma. Ati kazi yote mtu amefanya si lazima ulipwe. Malipo itakuja ikukute ukiwa kazini mwingine ama ukiendelea. Nisikae pale na nijipee nguvu. Hiyo kazi ilikuwa mzuri na nitafanya ingine mzuri.
And I think that's good for me. I think that's good because there are those, for example, who would have been involved in drug issues, So when we speak to them and you see these people are striving to live a good life, to become good citizens, I want to say that's a good point for me. And I look at it positively, because now they are also preaching the same to the rest of the world.
The farmer who sustains the nation, a teacher lighting the path to a brighter future, the healthcare workers tirelessly caring for their fellow citizens in the face of adversity, an entrepreneur daring to innovate and create jobs in the harsh economic times, the artists who use their talents to address societal challenges through music, dance, and art, thereby contributing to behavior changes and development of policies to address the challenges. The athletes who win medals and make the country be recognized internationally and who generate pride in the citizens. We celebrate heroes involved in conserving the environment. We celebrate the ancient and modern-day heroes and heroines who have selflessly given themselves to bring much-needed change in Kenya. Once heroes are identified on Mashujaa Day, they are celebrated by being awarded a certificate and a medal. This year's Mashujaa Day celebration event will be held at Kericho Green Stadium, Kericho County, and under the theme Universal Health Coverage.
We are trying to use the concept, the theme on health to promote the health to society and to each and every place. But above all, we are also looking to celebrate our heroes in Kericho. It's coming up to, we'll be in Kericho on 20th on Friday, and people are going to celebrate in Kericho. And because the theme was on universal health promotion and all that, we are looking at also the health team is already in Kericho right away now, trying to ensure that they start it earlier before the particular day.
Providing equitable and affordable health care will boost the capacity of people to be productive and contribute effectively to the growth of our economy. Nationhood is a journey started by our forefathers. It is our individual and collective responsibility to make our nation the nation we aspire for and are proud of. We salute all the heroes who have been identified this year and urge each and everyone to strive to contribute selflessly for the well-being of the country and for its socio-economic development.
I would want to wish is that we conduct our Mashujaa Day properly, and that everybody who goes there, who attends, and we're inviting everybody to attend, and who attends goes there peacefully, and appreciates that those who have worked for this country, those who have sacrificed for this country. My message to the heroes who are going to be awarded is that congratulate them, wish them well, and they should continue to provide, to give services and contribute towards this country's peace and development.
Heroes are the soul of our history, their legacies a guiding light for generations to come. They are the excellent fruit the nation has birthed, blazing the way for the population to aspire in various endeavors in life. The National Heroes Council stands as a custodian of this legacy, dedicated to honoring their sacrifices and perpetuating their memory. National Heroes Council is a state corporation established by the Kenya Heroes Act No. 5 of 2014 in accordance with the State Corporation Act Cap 446. Key functions of the council include formulating and implementing policy relating to identifying and honoring national heroes and management of the National Heroes Square. Other functions are administering state assistance to national heroes where necessary, enforcing sanctions and penalties in respect to disregard to national heroes, and carrying out research and conducting civic education and awareness on issues relating to national heroes.
The National Heroes Council is to identify heroes of this country, both posthumously as well as present, and recommend them for examination whether they qualify to be on the basis of various definitions where they qualify to be heroes. And we do that just before Masucha Day, and during the Masucha Day they are announced.
In order to achieve its mandate effectively, the National Heroes Council embarked on developing its first ever 5-year strategic plan covering the period 2023 to 2027.
The institution was just came in place with the first staff in May last year, and today we are almost marking our first year as official staff of the National Heroes Council. The first point when these people came in, we were looking at coming up with a strategic plan which will guide all our activities for a period of 5 years. This is a requirement by government. All the sagas and all government departments must have a strategic plan which guide all aspects of performance in the institution.
It is against this backdrop that the NHC invited stakeholders to a validation workshop to discuss its draft strategic plan, ask questions, seek clarification, and provide feedback on various aspects to ensure that the plan reflects the needs, priorities, and aspirations of heroism, so that the Council can have actionable strategic initiatives that will inspire pride and foster a deeper appreciation of our country's heritage.
Today marks a very key point as we invite our guests to look through a document which will spell the journey for our performance, and also looking through our mandate to see how best the National Heroes Council is going to be committed to a situation of honoring heroes across this country. I'm sure it's not an easy journey, it's a long journey. It's not a light journey. We need a lot of hands to come in support to each and everything we do. So you take time to be taken through the strategic plan and we finalize it. We are inviting your critiques at the highest level so that as you are criticizing our document or giving it value, look through our country's needs in terms of what this mandate is supposed to perform. It's a very deep mandate, and I know we are going to get the right critique. I call it critique because very soon we want time to invite you to launch this strategic plan.
This ambitious roadmap focuses on the following key strategic issues: honors and awards for heroes and their welfare, merit-based honoring and enabling policy and legal environment. The draft strategic plan will guide the implementation and achievement of the Council's mandate and assessment of performance in accordance to the Kenya Heroes Act.
This document also will provide a roadmap that the Heroes Council will follow over the next period of 2023-2027. It also provides the key resort areas, the strategic objectives, the strategies and the activities that the Council will seek to implement in the next 5 years. Now, the National Treasury has issued guidelines that will guide institutions and MDAs to develop strategic plans. And we have our Council member representing the PS National Treasury with us here. The office has issued guidelines that have made sure that strategic plans that are developed are standardized across government. And the document that we are presenting before you has undergone that check, and we want to assure you that the document is properly aligned. We have also complied with the requirements of the Constitution on public participation. We sought views from across the country. We were in Embu, Eldoret, Nakuru, Garissa, Machakos, Mombasa, and Kisumu, and we collected views and we have incorporated those views in this document.
It also aims to align the Council's function with the Kenya Vision 2030, Africa Agenda 2063, UN's Sustainable Development Goals, and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. In the implementation of the strategic plan, partnerships and collaborations will be crucial. The stakeholders will include Parliament, National Treasury, county governments, ministries, departments, agencies, media, and national heroes, among others.
I wish to join the entire leadership of the Council in congratulating all of you stakeholders for their valuable input and support in ensuring that we attain the tremendous achievements. Congratulations all. I also wish to single out the county governments who are key players in identification, selection, and honoring national heroes across our country. Indeed, the Kenya Heroes Act has given counties express mandate to assist the Council in identifying deserving Kenyans to be recognized and honored in line with the criteria under this act.
Among other things captured in the strategic plan are the expansion of the categories of national heroes, from those involved in the liberation struggle as freedom fighters to incorporate 13 other categories as identified by the Kenya Heroes Act No. 5 of 2014. These 13 categories are spiritual leadership, indigenous knowledge, cultural values and practices, arts, sports, scholarship professionalism, research, peacemaking, statesmanship, entrepreneurship and industry, philanthropy, human rights, national cohesion and integration, and environmental conservation. Honoring heroes is also a way of recording history indelibly, so that pivotal events and the people involved are forever etched in the nation's collective memory. It may have taken us long to get here, but finally, the journey has begun, and a lot of activity is expected in this space. Once the strategic plan is implemented, the National Heroes Council will ensure that the flame of heroism continues to shine brightly, illuminating the path for future generations.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Dada's Show, coming to you from Best Western Hotel, Upper Hill here in Nairobi. I'm your host, Ashiko Mbune. Now, Mashujaa Day is a day that is celebrated every year and is set aside to honor and to acknowledge our forefathers who fought for our independence. They lost their lives, blood, sweat, and tears for us to be able to enjoy the freedom that we enjoy right now. Over the years, the term Shujaa has morphed to mean certain things, but all in all, it means somebody who is selfless, somebody who makes sacrifices, somebody who is inspiring, somebody who goes out of their way to make sure that their fellow Kenyan is living a good life. So it could be doctors, it could be teachers, it could even be your parent, or it could be a sportswoman, a woman who has worked hard and toiled, used her skill and has been able to put Kenya on the map in the field of athletics. We'll celebrate her. This formidable woman continues to inspire us, and today on Dada's show, we are honoring her. We are celebrating her and the milestones that she has been able to achieve throughout her career. Now, remember, you can always reach us across all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach me personally on my social media platforms at Ashiko the Host. I'm looking forward to your feedback, not only on this show and on any other show that we have aired before. Do you have a topic that you'd want us to touch? So let's have a look at the following feature.
Mashujaa Day, also known as Heroes Day, is celebrated on 20th October annually. The day is marked by honoring people demonstrating national values, spiritual leadership, cultural values and practices, arts, sport, peacemaking, among others. We caught up with Mr. Wambia, CEO, National Hero Council, to help us understand the role of National Hero Council and the selection process of heroes.
The Heroes Council, the Act came into place sometime since 2014, and the Act is number 5 of 2014, and which establishes the Heroes Act, and then it also provides for the mandate to see that we look at issue of identifying heroes, develop the criteria for identifying heroes, and also create criteria. Through the criteria we nominate them and honor them. The process of identifying heroes is properly articulated in our Act under Section 22, which gives the process through which. But beyond that, there is also a schedule which guides the honoring of heroes. The Schedule 1 has 14 categories. Maybe just to share a few, we have the category for liberation freedom fighters, which is very key, because this takes the veterans, the Mau Maus and all that. Then we have a category for sports, very key in this country because we are a country of sportsmen and women. We have a category of the artist, another growing up area. Issues of artists is becoming a very big thing even for our youth in the current time because it's a growing thing, it's the in thing. We also have philanthropists, people who have supported in different areas. We have academicians, which falls under statement in professional studies. We have environmentalists and conservation, which falls into one other category, and many other more.
Criteria used to select individual has improved in the last years, leading to more public participation.
We are trying to reach the public. I know there's something we have not done very, very critical in terms of public awareness, but the beginning we have started, first of all, to ensure that we publicize our call for heroes. We make sure we make a call on a newspaper, and actually we do MyGov so that we inform the public that can you nominate somebody within an area which falls within the 14 categories. So this information goes to the public through media. And in fact, in the current period this year, we have received a lot of communication because we did it public sometimes back in August. We communicated it out, and people responded very well. So we are changing from the previous one. The previous was simply write to so-and-so and give us so-and-so. We write to the county commissioner, we write to different disciplines. But now we look at those categories. Sometimes where we go and we want specific institutions to participate is like in sports. We would wish now, because sports has different institutions, we might wish even them to nominate people whom they know under those institutions. We have NOC, we have the Athletic Kenya, we have the Sports Commission. So we also involve them directly, apart from the public notice we put on newspapers. So we try very much to widen our scope through which we can reach people so that we can get a liberal, open mind from more people to help us, our team, sit down.
Universal health coverage is at the forefront of this year's Mashujaa Day celebration as the government targets to ensure affordable quality health care for all.
The government is looking at a way of promoting universal health care coverage, and they're using a theme to unite also with the celebration for Mashujaa as an escalating point.
Mr. Wambia urged women in all sectors to nominate fellow women for the Mashujaa Day list. The National Hero Council faces a number of challenges and critiques from the public as some Kenyans tend to disagree with the list of heroes.
For the first time, I want to tell you, we've had a lot of positive critique because we went to people. Yeah. By calling for the nomination, we went to people, and people saw something new which has never been done before. So for the first few days, I think maybe we are having positive critique. But we have also been sharing with people doing our strategic plan movement outside in different regions. And we get a feedback, a feeler of what the public wants us to do. In our process of creating, as one of our functions is create awareness and facilitate the public to understand what we do, which is a very key domain functions we have, we shall be also listening to the public to tell us what is their thinking. And when we listen to them, I think we sit back, brainstorm, and look at how best we can serve Kenyans.
This year, Mashujaa Day is held at Kericho County as Head of Public Service Felix Koskei announced.
The choice of Kericho is by the leadership, but I will explain why Kericho in a different aspect, because when the regime, the last regime, when under the President Uhuru Kenyatta, I think he came up with celebration to move out from Nairobi, so that some of this national celebration be done outside, so that even other counties can get a feel of it. One thing which drove it also is the aspect of devolution, and also it was a way also to bring national issues at the devolved function levels. And I think it is working very well. I know it has been done in Machakos, it has been done in Kakamega, it has been done in Mombasa, and it has a very key growth to those environments. They see what they've only been seeing happening in Nairobi. Now these things are happening to them.
For Dada's show, my name is Miriam Masava. Happy Mashujaa Day.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Dada's Show Mashujaa special. And as I mentioned before the break, we are joined by an exceptional lady, a lady who has paved the way for so many female athletes in our country, a lady who has put Kenya in the global map and given us recognition through her athletic prowess. So ladies and gentlemen, you at home and even in my audience, I am honored to invite the legendary Catherine Dereba. Thank you so much, Catherine. I am literally starstruck. I don't know if you guys can tell the way I've turned pink, maroon, purple in quick progression. I mean, this is somebody I grew up watching you. I grew up standing, and when they would announce Kenya 1, 2, 3, and the national flag would play, I would have such a moment of patriotism and inspiration despite anything that was going on. We always knew that we were safe, we were well represented. Of course, I cannot fail to acknowledge my wonderful audience who take time day in, day out, week in, week out, to come and sit with me as we interact with certain topics and certain conversations. They contribute, they inspire me as well. So karibuni sana. Now, to get the ball rolling, Catherine, karibu sana. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We feel so honored to have you here with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, from where you started, from how you grew, tell us your history. Give us your history till maybe where you are right now.
Okay, well, we are talking of 1972 up to 2023.
Yes,
I don't know how long that would take me to do that.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll try my best.
Thank you so much.
Yes. I would like to say that I was born, my name is Catherine Dereba, and I'm a third born in a family of 10, 9 surviving.
Yes.
And I was born in the central part of Kenya, in a small village called Gatunganga. It is in Mathira West, and in Nyeri County. I went to school like any other kid, though my life was a bit different because I didn't start with the kindergarten or the nursery school, so I started from class 1. Why? It's because I used to babysit my siblings. So the years passed, and when my parents just remembered, it was like, she's already 7 years, so she has to go to school. And that's how I added to class 1. And in fact, I was taken by my cousin, one of my first cousins, Beatrice Wabui Kabugi. She said, tomorrow we are going to school. Yes, and she went like, tutaenda shule ya watu wakumbwa. And I was like, wow, what an exciting moment. I have to go to school. And well, I knew how to write, and you know, I could spell my name and all that. But unfortunately, the only letter that was giving me a lot of difficulties to write, it was the small r.
Yes.
So you see, my name is Catherine Nyambura Dereba. And now when I do my R, I was not able to write them like this. I was writing them like this. No, the opposite.
Yes.
So anyway, that was okay. But now the teacher taught me how to do it right and all that. So I went through the primary school years, and when I was in standard 4, we started running.
Yes.
And I was so excited, first of all, when I got to class 4. Why? It's because I could go to school and stay in school from morning to the evening.
Yes.
And I could go home for hot lunch and then come back to school.
Yes.
So I could not wait for that time. And in fact, I felt like my longest year was when I was in class 3, because I waited for this moment.
Yeah.
And I was really longing for that moment. And I thank God that now I got to class 4. So now I started going for lunch at home, and the lunch break was only 1 hour. So I could use my 30 minutes to go home and 30 minutes to get back. As I was doing that, I didn't know that I was in the making, you know, of what I came to do later. And this was that my home was like 2 miles away from school. So I had to run back and forth, back and forth. So meaning if I do 2 miles to school and 2 miles to go back for hot lunch and 2 miles to go back to school and 2 miles to get back at home, now you can tell the average.
The kind of, yes, the distance that you were doing. Yeah.
So that tells you I developed some mileage without knowing.
At a very young age.
At a very young age. So, and I believe I came to run this just later when I was trying to do the marathon. And I learned that because when I could try to run the cross country, I was good. And I could afford to beat like everybody, every lady in my school, you know, as a standard 4, a standard 5, you know, student.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, fine. So I kept on doing it, and when I was in 5th grade, my sports teacher or my class teacher started telling me, you know, Catherine, when you go and win for us, you know, you win for us. So once you win, on Monday morning, just come to the office. There must be a reward for you. And I started getting rewards. I keep on getting rewards, and I get motivated. So I knew for a little that if I go and I represent my school, definitely there is something out of that.
Yes.
And mostly the awards that I used to get was books, piles of books, and pencils. And when I could get that, since that time, by that time I used to buy the books, I could not buy, I could have enough to share with my siblings.
Yeah.
So my high school was kind of far because it was in a different town.
Yes.
So, and I had to go there because there was no other
and
school.
And it's a day
there.
school?
It is a day school.
So you, and there are time constraints, so you have to run back?
Yes, I have to run.
You have to run to and fro?
If that's not the case, I have to wake up very early. Yeah, I could leave my house as early as 6. If I chance to leave at 6:30, I'll be late for
You'll
school
be late,
because it took me a whole hour to get to school.
Wow.
So now, because I don't want to have issues with the school rules, I had to run to keep the time.
Yes.
And I had to make sure, even when I get to school, I have to stay clean and all that. So what I used to do is that I used to use my old canvas shoes so that I don't mind even when it gets dirt. So by the time I get to school, I have to wash my feet and all that. Then I put on my white socks and put on my leather shoes. Because I have to look, you know, decent.
You have to look presentable.
Yes, yes, like any other student. So, So, and by doing that, I kept on building my marriage as well. So, my first year of high school, I had an accident while I was running to go to school.
Oh dear.
So, and I had to have some bruises around my knee, but now the bruise, I was hurted more inside, not even on the top. So, I got treated and all that, but it took me like a whole year
to recover,
to get well. So the whole of my Form 1 year, I didn't compete. So come the following year, in fact, I didn't even thought like I'm gonna make it out of this. So I thought like I'm done, even with my running and all that. But I thank God, because he's a God of second chances. That was 1990. Now come the year 1991, when it come to the duration of athletics, I was able to participate in the track and field, and I fared well. I was able to get to the provincial level. In fact, that's where I always used to get to Rus. And then after that, I had to go back to school. So, and after that, I just kept on looking forward the following year.
To the competitions,
it is just once in a year. It's just once in a year. If you don't make it to the district level or to the national level, so that's it. So that was it. And I kept on doing that up to the provincial level, up to my 4th form. So when I was about to do my KCSE, I started worrying, like after the school, where will I get to do this?
What's next for me?
What's next? And, you know, I made my mind that even if I do my KCSE, regardless of whatever grade I'm going to get, I'll just switch talk my headmaster that I can be allowed to get back to school. Maybe I do 2 more extra years. I get to Form 3, then I do Form 3, Form 4. And not because I was interested to get a better grade.
Because you wanted to run.
I just wanted to run. I just wanted to be called, you know, she's one of the teammates of that school. And it's because I didn't know that there is anywhere else I could run. And you know, just by the time I was thinking like what to do, even after school, during the holiday, I just decided that I'll be running every morning and every evening.
Wow.
Yes, because I could not stop. I just had this kind of a thirst, but I later came to learn that is what we call the power of passion.
Oh, wow.
So I was so passionate about
running. You were passionate
running.
about running, and it did not matter.
Yes.
It did not matter. So what some of us people dread having to do, unless we are being chased for mandamano, is something that was completely ingrained and inborn in you. So now let's jump a little bit forward. So now here you are, you have finished high school. You have said that if I fail the exam, I want to go back to school, not because of the books, but because of being part of a team.
I just want to be among the two. In the long run, I remembered there was this coach that I had exchanged contact with. He came from a different town, different side of Nyeri, but he had 2 kids whom he could bring during our secondary district championships. And those kids, the girl was in grade 7. And she could afford to lap me when I was in high school. So I believe that he's a good coach.
That's definitely a good coach.
Yes, if he could make his daughter to lap me for all those laps, and I'm even much grown than his daughter, I just felt like probably he can be a good coach. What about if I send him a letter and ask him whether it is possible
for him to coach?
Yes, to coach me. And that's how I just gotten a chance to leave my hometown, and I was taken by my dad to that other town. It's called Kehuyo. It is in Nyeri. And when I went there, my business was only one.
To run.
just to run. And why I wanted even to move, it's because nobody was understanding me in my village. Everybody kind of thought like, maybe probably my family could understand me, but the rest of the villagers took me like I'm out of my mind. It's like, she's insane.
Yeah, like who just runs?
Yes.
Why is she running? What is she running away from?
Yes, and
or
then,
running to?
and to make the matter more worse is that I used to run in those wrap round, you know, the rappers. Yes, and the broomer underneath. And believe you me, and I thank God, those years, I believe there was no, the kind of evil that is all allowed. Because nobody cares. Even if I run in my rap round, probably that's why they perceive like I'm crazy. Yes. And I didn't mind. Even the nickname, I was being called Crazy Catherine. And I was okay with it. Because at the back of my mind...
I would like to wonder what the people who coined the name Crazy Catherine are thinking right now. Mwalimu wa math.
Yes. Yes, they could call me even when I'm hearing, and could talk about me when I'm hearing. And, well, I didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, some of the women who are of my mom's age, they could stop me, like during the market day, and they could ask me, Catherine, why are you learning? Why should you keep on learning? And I tell them, don't worry, I'm just trying to make some ways, or looking for somehow I'm going to feed my children.
Oh, wow.
Little did I know, the Bible talks about the power of the tongue.
That is it.
The power of the tongue. And it is always good to prophesy. You know, talk good about yourself, because it will come to happen.
It will come to pass.
So whatever you confess, that's what you possess.
Still then, you were able to pursue. Now, tell me about the experience after you met the new coach. So you met the new coach, the same coach who was training the other two athletes. Yes, please.
When I met this coach, I just met him in a home. Like, you know, the way someone can visit the neighbor.
Yes.
So in that place where I met him, he was in a family that is called the Degwas. And I didn't know that is not his home. But what he said, you stay here. You know, myself, I was thinking like he has a camp.
Yeah.
So, and I came with my bucket, my mattress, my everything, you know, my
You
whole
were ready.
bag. Yes, my whole bag full of clothes. And I was like, you'll be left here. You see these two young girls, they will show you the route, like where you learn in the morning and in the evening.
Yeah.
And at 10, we'll be, you know, meeting at a certain point. Then we do our program, and then you break for lunch. I said, okay. So the problem was, he has left me here. I'm not sure whether he had communicated with the family earlier.
Oh dear.
So I was left there. I didn't have a choice, so I had to stick there. And I loved those two young girls. They showed me the route. And I thank God in that you know, neighborhood, there was a lot of young girls who were doing whatever I loved to do. So we could get out of us, like 10 of us, do the learning. And there was a lot of coffee plantation. So I enjoyed running around. So it was interesting.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that I improved. I became number 3, then I became number 2. My third race, I became number 1. It was the beginning now of 1994. It was a close country. So the 2 ladies who kept on beating me, I beaten them with a gap, with a margin of about 2 minutes.
Wow.
So the coaches could not believe it. And they went like...
That this woman has something.
Probably.
Yeah.
She cut the course, or let's just wait until these others come. They will let us know whether she kind of cheated,
whether she passed them or whether she cheated. Oh dear.
Yeah, so when they confirmed, they said, yes, she was with us the whole way. But when we get on the hills, oh my God, she learned like she has an extra gear. And that was it. So that's how I was able to be awarded with the first prize.
Yeah.
And the first prize was a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
No, it was a pair of tracksuit.
Yeah.
Number 2 was being awarded with a pair of shoes. That is now the sneakers.
Yeah.
And like a small envelope with a couple of hundreds of whatever.
Yeah.
So, but when they talked, now my coach and the rest of the group talked, they said, this girl, she doesn't have a good shoe to run on. So why don't we switch
the prices,
the award,
yes,
because the shoes is going to help her
Run,
most
yeah,
than the tracksuit.
Wow.
And that's what they did. So
Wow.
they given me the sneaker. Those years they were called Cornet.
Yes.
And I got that Cornet pair.
Somebody has agreed.
Yeah, she can relate. So I got my Cornet. It was a bit bigger than me, but it didn't matter. I had to tie the shoes very tight.
Very, very tight.
Yes,
yeah,
that it can fit me. Now I can enjoy my shoe, my new shoe.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really good. So tell me about your first experience, because you were this lovely village girl from Nyeri. Tell me about your first experience on a plane, and when you land a foreign country, and what the culture shock was like for you.
First of all, when we were to travel, I didn't believe like it's real,
Yeah.
that I'm going to travel. So because I had some experiences that I was put in a team, and then when it comes to time to travel, you just get dropped from the team. So I could not even tell anyone, because I didn't like those, you know, disappointments and all that. So I just chosen to keep it for myself until that time. So I believed that I am going somewhere. When I got into that flight and the doors were closed, securely. Yes. Yes. Siwezi kutolewa. And I was like, okay, fine. So we traveled to Seoul, Korea.
Seoul, Korea.
Yes, we were going to do this ekiden. Yeah. They normally call it ekiden. It was a Korean women ekiden. We left Kenya sometime in the afternoon on a Monday.
Okay.
And we didn't make it to Seoul, Korea until early morning, Wednesday.
Oh dear.
Yes.
So we are talking how many days there? We are talking two days, 3 days?
I think we got in there around 3 a.m. or so. So we had to have something to eat, because definitely everybody was tired and exhausted. They needed something to drink or to eat. But even the appetite wasn't there because of those hours in the air. So we looked for something to eat, but I could not find what I'm used to eat.
What is your current role right now?
Before I even get to go to Korea, I had to join the Kenya prisons in 1994 on 15th of August. So I got enrolled as a prison officer, and after 7 months, I graduated. And I graduated on 24th of February, 1995. Yes. And I got posted at Nairobi West Prison. Yes. It's a medium sentence men prison. Yes.
So now, as your role as the Deputy Director, which is also a role that you sit on, the Deputy Director
Gender, NGOs and Sports.
Yes, Gender and NGO and Sports. How have the reforms been changed that are favorable for female athletes?
Well, what I can say is that what has been changed is that the women are given the equal rights, just like the male athlete. When I started, it's like a woman athlete was looked as a lesser athlete, kind of a competitor. And it's like not of the majority were on the side of women to believe like, yes, what the men can do, a woman can do better. And for me, I believe if it is a human being who is doing whatever they are doing, I can still do it.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a lady, if there's a female athlete at home right now who's watching and they're in awe and they're as excited as we are, a female athlete, a young one, what inspiration would you give them? You know, from your humble backgrounds to so many of the hurdles and the challenges that you had to fight till where you are right now, what advice would you give them?
The advice that I would give a young athlete, female athlete, is that she should not let her background define her.
I think that's a very, very good place for us to take a small break, and then we'll be back with a question and answer session. Remember, this is the Mashujaa Day special, and we are having a one-on-one with Catherine Dereba. We're asking her questions that most people would not think of asking. So join us after the break for the question and answer session. Welcome back to the Mashujaa Day special. And our Shujaa for today is the legendary, very funny, very entertaining, very engaging Catherine Dereba. So Catherine and I have a wager going between me and her who can run faster. And she's told me hands down, even without sports shoes, even without, even without just bare feet, that she can defeat me 10-0. I mean, yeah, I believe that completely, but it's so inspiring, at the age of 51, and she can still run and she can still do things, even though she's not doing it competitively. She can still run. She still inspires young kids every day. So once again, I'm still starstruck. I'm still in awe that you're here with us. So we are here for the question and answer session, and we're going to touch on a few things that we may not have touched on in our first segment, and our wonderful audience, who are as excited as I am, have a few questions for Madam Dereba. So to start us off, we have Jackie.
Thank you very much, Ashiko, for the wonderful show that you're running about celebrating dadas. Catherine Dereba, it's an honor to share this space with you. We celebrate you. My question is, tell us about all the international accolades that you've won. Tell us about the world record you've broken. And how do you feel about all that?
Thank you very much, Jackie. I can say that I'm grateful for your question. And all I can say is that I started having international engagements from the year 1995. As I had mentioned earlier, that my first race was in Seoul, Korea. And then after I joined college, I graduated college, I had a manager in United States of America. And from the month of May, I started doing the road racing circuit there. And later, I could do some in Europe, some in Asia. And out of that, I kind of fitted well from the distance of 5 kilometers and up to the marathon, of which the marathon came just from the year 1999. And this was out of frustrations because I was really, really looking forward to do or to represent my country in the world cross country, because I loved cross country with a passion. Yeah. And as much as I could try to make the team, I could not get better for it. And none of the Kenyan, could believe, or whoever is in a federation that time, didn't believe in my running style, like I can make a good athlete. And in 1999, that's when I felt like I had enough, because I tried the World Cross Country in 1994, 1995, 1996, 1997, I took a break to have my daughter. 1998, I came back with the baby fat. 1999, I thought like I had the best shape, but unfortunately, I never made it. And it's at that point that I felt like I have enough of this. And when I had enough, it's when you keep on doing the same thing and you expect to have a different result, it's not possible. Yes. So that's now when I made my mind that I need to change. And I decided to go out there and do a marathon. And not because it was my favorite distance, my due, even when I was making that decision, I had only learned one half marathon in my career. And when I made that decision, it's because when I called my manager and I asked for more races during the summer, she said, no, during the spring, she said, no, Catherine, nobody has left with a budget for you. And I said, Lisa, can you do whatever you can and get something for me? When I talk of a budget, is that when you have a race that want you to run, they could, send you a ticket, and they could have a budget for you for accommodation and meals for the time that you'll be there with them, maybe for 2 or 3 nights. So my manager said, it's only the marathons that have got a budget. So that's how I made my mind history without even thinking about what to expect. And I told my manager, just book me in Boston Marathon. And lucky enough, the year before, that is 1998, around the end of the month of August, I had gotten an opportunity to run a race in Boston around where they normally have the Boston Marathon. And one of the race organizers of Boston Marathon, he said he can offer to show me the Boston race course.
Yes.
Even if I wasn't interested of running. I told me, I don't think I can ever run a marathon. Anyway, now because it was just a free trip, you know, I just wanted to see the town. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And now when it came to 1999 and I'm looking for a race and there was like nothing left for me, I just decided that I'm going to go to Boston. Little did I know what I'm, you know,
what was
going to face.
For you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I did my training. I was feeling like I had enough speed, I had enough mileage and all that. But you see, the 10 kilometers that I used to run, it was very good to do it and easy to do it. But for the marathon, I didn't know it's something that you need to do a lot of calculations. And, you know, to get to run a marathon, you have to have enough mileage in store. With the kind of training I had already done one long run up to 1 hour, 35 minutes. And guess what? The marathon, you cannot do it under 2 hours. It's only Kipchoge can do that. Yeah. So I just decided I'm going to do the Boston Marathon. And when I went there, my goal was to finish the race in 2 hours and 33 minutes. When I could do my calculations, I could see maybe if I try so much, maybe 2 hours and 30. So I was telling, at the back of my mind, I used to tell myself that, okay, I have the training up to the half of the race, I know I'm comfortable. So the rest, I'll just try to play around, you know. And you know why I decided I'm going to go for the marathon? It's because I got so much criticized with my running style. Like, you know, she cannot be a good runner in cross country because her feet just go, she has a very low step. And it's like, oh my God, at my village, I'm a crazy Catherine. When it comes to cross country, when it comes to cross country, she just have a raw feet. So what am I going to do? But that didn't even bother me because with my raw step, I had already won several road races, 5 kilometers, you know, 4 miles, you know, I had even won 16 kilometers. So that was not a problem for me. But at 40 kilometers, may I tell you something? I felt like I have enough of this. And I had to stop. So when I went to go to, as I was about to stop, there was this guy from Kenya. I didn't know his name then. And he was the former champion of Boston Marathon. His name is Moses Tanui. And I owe a lot of respect to Moses because if it were not for his cheering, I don't think I could ever get to finish my first marathon. I could be a DNF. And he kept on yelling at me like, Dereba, don't stop, Dereba, don't stop. And I was like, is he crazy? He's seated down on the other side of the road, yet he doesn't want me to stop. And I was like, what was this kind of hell? And anyway, I just decided if I'm not going to stop then, I had already passed my 40-kilometer water. So I had to walk back, get my bottle, have a sip, and then I started again.
Oh my God. I'm tired.
I was so tired. Not even tired, I was like dead. Because of the lactic acid. You know, the minute you dare to stop, it just gets you like, I don't know. Even to lift my legs, I was feeling like I'm lifting like 10 kgs on my legs. So at some point I said, well, I don't need to lift my legs so hard because it seems I can fry. I don't know what is happening here. So little did I know I was suffering what we call dehydration. And I went slowly enough to finish. And thank God I made it in that time. I told you 2 hours, 28 minutes.
And even then you were still number 6.
Yes, I was number 6. I was number 2. When I was stopping, I was number 2. I looked back like this, and I could see number 3 way far. So I started calling the number 3, like, don't worry about me. Just come and pass.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
So I tried. Number 5, she just passed me on the finish line. Like, I didn't have that energy to lift my leg to go like before her.
Yeah,
I could see her getting from behind and go like, and then she just passed before me. But for me, it was none of my business.
It was a victory.
After the finish line, I had to be lifted by a wheelchair. I could not walk. I was all done. Like,
oh my, you had given it your all.
Yes, I could not walk, I could not do anything. I was like dying. And let me tell you something, that didn't make me even feel like I'll never do it again. So I was taken to the recovery room, and when I got there, I found a couple of Kenyans. And there was this guy, gentleman, and may his soul rest in peace. He passed sometime early this year, or a couple of months. And his name was Joseph Chebet. He was the winner of that race that day. I found him on the floor. He was rolling. He was actually rolling like this. And he was going like, oh, mama, oh, mama. Now I didn't know what is all this about. And when I asked, they said, he's the winner. I was like, wait.
Oh, my word.
He is the winner. And he's rolling on the floor. I was number 6, and I was carried with a wheelchair. Okay, that's fine.
This is what you're signing up for.
Yes. So, at the same time, I learned something. And I learned that the winner, and even that person who finished the rest, all of them normally go through some pains. So, it only depends on the perseverance and the levels of your perseverance.
That is true, yeah.
That was the lesson that I came out with from that race. And come that very night, I talked of being dehydrated. I was kept in a room so that I can be able to give a sample for doping, doping test for 4 hours. I could not go to the bathroom.
You could not be able to have anything.
Yes, regardless of how much water I took, I could not go to the bathroom.
Oh dear.
I was totally dehydrated. And I could even ask them, give me some coffee, give me some tea, you know, just to make it come faster. But
nothing happened.
I couldn't go. So out of that very night when I went to sleep, at around 3 a.m., I was awake. And I felt this strong voice in my mind that was telling me, Catherine, even if you do this race tomorrow, you won't be number 6. You'll be among the podium.
Oh, wow. That's excellent.
And I believed that. So when I woke up in the morning, we went for breakfast. My coach came and he asked me, I could see, you know, some of the competitors when they were going downstairs, because we were having our breakfast, it was like ground floor. So people were walking like this, and they cannot be able to walk, you know, the way you normally go down the staircase. They were going backward, you know. Why? Because their quads was hurting so badly. When you learn on a hilly and downhill course, it kills your quads. So they had a lot of pains on their quads and the hamstrings. So I didn't experience that. Though I had the soreness in my whole body, I didn't experience that crazy pain. I could walk my stairs just like normal, but I could walk very slowly because I was feeling my back like it's so weak. So I could not walk very fast. So for those who have kids, probably you have kids, when I had my daughter, I could not be able to walk very fast because I was feeling like my back is so soft that I could even turn like this. Yeah, that's how I felt. So I could just remember and I could just relate it with that time.
Yeah.
So now my coach threw a question to me and he said, Catherine, I just want one answer from you. Will you ever do a marathon again? I told him, yes, why not? And he said, he just shook his head and then he said, I didn't expect such an answer from you.
And so you did. And
yes.
Then, and the next one you won. So
the next one, I had to go and do the New York Fall Marathon. I trained. I kept on, like improving my training, I adjusted where I felt that I need to adjust, and especially on my mileage. If it were not for the fear of the unknown, I could have won the New York Marathon for the first time in 1999, of which I didn't. I became number 2.
Yeah.
And that was very good enough for me because I improved my time with almost a minute. So come the year 2000, I came back home. I did my training as usual. I participated in the prison championship cross country and the national cross country. Then I went to Boston. And the rest is history because I crossed the finish line being number 1.
So how many Boston, a round of applause guys, so how many Boston Marathon, we've gotten to now the meat, but it is so important, and I love how Catherine has not skipped over the hardship. She's not skipped over the time that she lost. She has actually taken pains to get into details on the hardship that came before the victory. And I think it's testament, and so many people can draw on that nothing comes easily, nothing comes for free. So how many Boston Marathons have you won?
Well, I have won 4 Bostons.
Yes.
And I have one number 2, I have a 1 DNF, and I have a 1 number 6.
Wow.
Yes.
So you have a DNF in the middle of being the person who also won. Yes. That's a story you'll tell me when we are just the 2 of us later on, when we are racing. And then so you need to explain to me how you have a DNF and 3 number 1s. You'll tell me about it later. So on top of the Boston Marathon, you have 4 wins in Boston Marathon, and then after that you have which other win is there?
I have won Chicago Marathon 2000 and 2001.
Yeah.
And I also have number 2 in Chicago.
Yeah.
And in the year 2001, I did the world record.
Yes.
So I ran in 2 hours, 18 minutes and 47 seconds.
Wow.
And
so what was the world record before that? Because you're saying you did 2 hours, 18 minutes, 47 seconds it was?
Yes, the world record was 2:19:46 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And it only lasted for 7 days. Yes.
I wish people can be able to pick up on how humorous Catherine is, because here we are looking at you may be in the sun for 10 minutes or you may be in the sun for 10 days. So it lasted you for 7 days, all of 7 days.
For 7 days,
Yes.
it was broken. Before, the time was, the record was owned by Tekla Lelupe.
Yes.
So as I set my eyes on the record, somebody else somewhere had also on the record. And what I believe is that records are there to be broken.
They are. Yeah.
They are there to be broken. So this girl chanced to go to run in Bahrain.
Yeah.
And Bahrain used to happen just a week before the Chicago Marathon.
Yes.
So she did the 280, she broke the 219 barrier, the 220 barrier, and myself, I broken the 219 barrier.
Wow.
Yes.
And that happened continuously. Now, Catherine, you're not one who's your accolades. So just for our viewers who are joining us, I want to go through quickly. So she has been the 4-time Boston Marathon winner in 2000, 2001, 2004, 2005. 2-time Chicago Marathon winner in 2000, where she broke the world record for 1 week, which was 2 hours, 18 minutes, 47 seconds. And she has been a 2-time world marathon champion in 2003. Gold and a silver medalist in 2005. She's also been the 2-time Olympic silver medalist in 2004, 2005. Those are the global accolades. What are some of the local accolades that you've been able to receive? You know, part of the reason why you are our Shujaa today.
In the year 2001, December, I got honored by His Excellency President Daniel Arap Moi with the Distinguished Service Medal, that is DSM.
DSM, yes.
Yes, and in the year 2005, I got honored by His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki by Order of the Great Warrior, that is OGW. And in the year 2020, I got honored by His Excellency, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, with the Medal of Moran of the Burning Spear.
Wow.
That is MBS. Yes.
And currently you have been, oh yeah, round of applause. And part of the reason why she's here is because you have been nominated. You have been selected to be Shujaa by the National Council
of Heroes.
Yes, of Heroes.
Yes.
We're going to move very fast through the next two questions.
Thank you very much, Madam Mashiko. My name is Elfas Mzito, and my question goes directly to our Shujaa here today. How did you manage to balance your family lifestyle together with your career?
I married my friend, and he acted as my training partner.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I can call him a blessing.
Oh, wow.
And he has been my support. Whenever I'm doing all that, he could take me for lunch. And even when I'm so tired, he could take care of our daughter.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any issues with that. So, and at the same time, we both work in the Kenya prisons. Though at some point, he decided to take a different course. So today he's flying the helicopter. So yes, everybody has got their own likes and, you know, run experiences. The way I could run and get to that level, he also now do his own.
Yeah.
Yes, because he got to a point and he felt like, I can't do this anymore. Let me just try something else. Yes.
The point is an adequate support system, someone who believes in you. So I think that cuts across to so many people. For you to be able to have a perfect work-life balance, especially if you have to travel across the country, you've got children, you're all over the place, I think it's important for the people in your life to support what you are doing and to understand and to have a shared vision. So ladies and gentlemen, sadly we have come to the end of this show. I actually wish this show was so much longer. There's so much I would want to talk about with Catherine, and I would want to engage and interact. It's only so often that you get an opportunity to sit down with a proper and the truest Mashujaa ever. So we have come to the end of this episode, and my takeaway is very simple. I mean, what entails your inspiration? What inspires you? What pushes you forward? And as you ask yourself, as we celebrate Mashujaa Day and we talk about what it takes, what it means to be a Shujaa, are you yourself a Shujaa? Are you setting an example for people? Are you selfless? Are you, can you sacrifice? Can you keep true to your cause? Do you have integrity? And that is the spirit of our Mashujaa Day here at Dada's Show. So on behalf of the team at KBC and my location partner, Best Western Hotel, Upper Hill, myself, Ashiko Mbune, Catherine Dereba, guys, my wonderful audience, I wish you all a fantastic week, and I'll catch you same time, same place next week. Bye-bye.
marks a very key point as we invite our guest to look through a document which will spell the journey for our performance, and also looking through our mandate to see how best the National Heroes Council is going to be committed to a situation of honoring heroes across this country. I'm sure it's not an easy journey. It's a long journey. It's not a light journey. We need a lot of hands to come in support to each and everything we do. So as you take time to be taken through the strategic plan and we finalize it, we are inviting your critiques at the highest level, so that as you are criticizing our document or giving it value, look through our country's needs in terms of what this mandate is supposed to perform. It's a very deep mandate, and I know we are going to get the right critique. I call it critique because very soon we want time to invite you to launch this strategic plan.